Temperatures to start our work week. Let's check in with Matt now as we look ahead to tomorrow morning's storm threat and the exact time frame of this.
Yeah, it's all about timing, right? Because in the morning we've got so many things going on, and you're trying to take the kiddos to school, you're trying to head to work, maybe you're just trying to cruise to see some family and friends. We've got to watch that western sky. It's going to get really dark too. We've got the sun will be rising off course towards the east, and then it's going to help illuminate some of those dark clouds as they march westbound. But you see that yellow zone, that shows you that level 2 out of 5. So we're still on the lower end of severe threats as we go into tomorrow morning. But really gusty winds are likely as these storms press on through. We've got some drier air that's mixing in, and when you get drier air mixing in with some of these thunderstorms, they tend to have more wind and they tend to have more hail. There could be some rotation. We'll watch on the leading edge of these storms to see if we get a quick spin up tornado. But what about the timing? Well, let's talk about that. We've got south winds tonight. We are dry tonight. When you're waking up tomorrow morning, many of us will not have any rain or thunderstorms yet. It's just a little bit later into the morning. If you live in eastern Oklahoma, so LaFleur County, Sequoia County, Delaware, and Adair counties, right around 7 o'clock, you've got to be watching off towards the west. Storms will be coming in very soon, maybe by 7:30, 7:45. In northwest Arkansas, it may be closer to 8 o'clock. Now, there's a big difference if you live west in Salem Springs versus Fayetteville. Salem Springs, western Benton County, western Washington County, it might be closer to 7, 8 o'clock. So right as we're trying to take the kiddos to school. Once you get closer to the I-49 corridor, if you live in Bentonville, Bella Vista, Rogers, Springdale, Fayetteville, it may be closer to 8 to 9 o'clock, and then a little bit later, closer to 9 o'clock once you get to the eastern side of the counties. In the Arkansas River Valley, once you get to Fort Smith, back off towards the east, we'll probably wait until about 8 o'clock, right around Fort Smith, Van Buren, watch around 8, storms coming in from the western sky, and then maybe closer to 9 o'clock for Ozark and Mulberry and Boonville and Greenwood, and then closer to 10 a.m. This is all arrival times, 10 a.m. for Clarksville and Paris. Once the storms hit you, expect some heavy rain for at least 2 to 3 hours, and then the clouds are going to break. We're going to get some sun for the rest of the day, and we may warm up to some 60s and 70s later in the afternoon. It may actually turn out to be a beautiful afternoon. We just got to get rid of some of these storms in the morning. They're going to start in Oklahoma. This is Futurecast. This is 7 o'clock. Wake up with meteorologist Zach Scott tomorrow morning because he'll show you that line of storms. Once we have the storms on the radar, we can get the exact speed, and we can give you a rough approximation of when those storms will be hitting your neighborhood. But by 9 o'clock, they're crossing the state line, and then by 10, 11 o'clock, they're out of here. But watch by 7 o'clock or so in northwest Arkansas for those storms coming in. Notice how overnight the temperatures aren't going to really drop. You got that south wind. As long as we keep that south wind, we'll have enough fuel for these storms. Here's a statewide view really quick. Storms coming in, 8, 9 o'clock, and then they fizzle out across the rest of the natural state. We could even pick up an inch of rainfall out of this. But the biggest threat will be gusty winds. There could be some pockets of some small hail, maybe even an isolated tornado, but it's really that wind threat we're watching. That's why we have a weather alert tomorrow morning. The rest of the day we have that sun. We cool down for a couple days here at the end of the week with a few light rain showers this weekend.
All right, Matt, thanks. After Saturday's dominant win over Florida, the Arkansas basketball team looked to make it 2 in a row against Georgia. Highlights next.
Make sure to wake up with us tomorrow on 5 News This Morning. I'm Joe Ellison.
And I'm meteorologist Zach Scott. Going to be tracking